Good morning children, welcome back to Maths class. We will continue with the same exercise. Question number 6. How many silver coins 1.75 centimeter in diameter and of thickness 2 millimeter must be melted to form a cuboid of dimensions 5.5 centimeter into 10 centimeter into 3.5 centimeter? How many silver coins 1.75 centimeter in diameter? So diameter of the silver coin. Diameter of the coin. Coin is in the shape of a cylinder. So coin, we write cylinder. Diameter is 1.75 centimeter. Therefore, radius of the coin. (1.75 by 2 centimeter). How many coins of 1.75 centimeter diameter and of thickness 2 millimeter? Thickness of the coin will be considered as the height of the cylinder. Thickness is height. It is 2 millimeter. Millimeter we will convert into centimeter because all the values are in centimeter. 1 centimeter is 10 millimeter. So 2 by 10 centimeter. So height of the coin is 2 by 10 centimeter. Radius of the coin is 1.75 by 2 centimeter. A coin is considered as a cylinder, 2 circular surface, and the thickness is considered as the height of the coin. And here, how many coins are required? Are melted to form a cuboid of dimensions. So, how many coins are melted and make a cuboid of dimensions 5.5 into 10 into 3.5 centimeter. So, first we will write the volume of the coin. Volume of the coin or volume of the cylinder is equal to pi r square h. Pi r square h. We'll just substitute the values. 22 by 7. Radius of the coin is 1.75 by 2 r square. So 1.75 into 1.75 by 2 into height of the coin is 2 by 10. Here 2 and 22 will cancel 11. This 2 and 2 will cancel. 7 ones are 7. Here 0.72s are 14. Remainder 3, 35. 7 5s are 35. So we will get here 11 into 0.25 into 1.75 by 10. Instead of dividing by 10, we will just add just the decimal point. 11 by 10, we can write 1.1. Any one, now for one number, we will adjust this 0. So 1.1 into 0.25 into 1.75 is the volume of the cylinder. Let it be like this. Later we will compare the volume. Now how many coins are required or melted to make a cuboid of dimensions? So length of the cuboid. Length of the cuboid equals 5.5 centimeter. Breadth of the cuboid 10 centimeter. And height of the cuboid is 3.5 centimeter. Therefore, volume of the cuboid equals, volume of a cuboid is LBH 5.5 into 10 into 3.5. So this is the volume of the cuboid. So here the question is how many coins are melting and making a cuboid of these measurements. Therefore, number of coins required or how many number of coins we can make is equal to volume of the cuboid divided by volume of a coin. Bigger volume divided by smaller volume. Volume of the cuboid divided by volume of a coin. So we will write it here. We will write the values and simplify. Therefore, number of coins equals volume of the cuboid is 5.5 into 10 into 3.5 divided by volume of the coin is 1.1 into 0.25 into 1.75. See, here I simplified and we got these many numbers. Now, to change this, we have here 2 decimal point and in the denominator totally 5 decimal point. So, we will multiply with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. That is 1 lakh. Will multiply and divide to change the decimal point. Now, numerator only 2 decimal digit. We have 5 zeros. So, 2 zeros will be adjusted with the decimal point and we will get 55 into 10 into 35. So, remaining 3 more zeros. So, that we will write it as 1000. And in the denominator, total 5 decimal digits are there and 5 zeros are there. So, we will get 1.1 becomes 11. This is 25 and here it is 175. All the 5 zeros are here, we adjust. Now we will cancel this. 11 5s are 55. Again 5 5s are 25. 5 2s are 10. Again 5 table if you cancel. 5 3s are 15. 25. 5 5s are 25. And here 5 4s are 5 2s are 10 and 200 we will get. Here 35 and 35 we will cancel. So 2 into 200, that is 400. So how many coins? 400 coins we will melt it and make a cuboid of these measurements. 7th question. A cylindrical bucket 32 cm high and with radius of base 18 cm is filled with sand. This bucket is emptied on the ground and a conical heap of sand is formed. If the height of the conical heap is 24 cm, find the radius and slant height of the heap. A cylindrical bucket 32 cm height. So, height of the cylindrical bucket 32 cm height and the radius of the base 18 cm. Radius 18 cm is filled with sand. This bucket is emptied on the ground and a conical heap of sand is formed. So, the sand in the bucket is emptied and make a conical heap. So, like this we will keep the sand. So, if the height of the conical heap is 24 cm, height of the conical heap 24 cm, find the radius and slant height of the heap. Radius of the cone and the slant height L of the cone we should find out. So, the sand in the bucket is emptied in the ground in the form of a conical shape. Therefore, volume of the sand in the bucket will be equal to volume of the mud in a conical heap. So, volume of the cone will be equal to volume of the cylinder, or volume of the mud in the conical heap is equal to volume of the mud in the cylindrical bucket. Volume of a cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. Volume of a cylinder is pi r square h. So here radius we will cancel 1 by 3. Here radius of the cone we should find out. Height of the cone, it is 24, is equal to here radius of the cylinder 18. So 18 square into height of the cone. So height of the cylinder it is 32. So here 3 and 24 will cancel. 8 r square is equal to 18 square into 32. R square is equal to 18 square into 32 by 8. So here 8 and 32 will cancel, we will get 4. R square is 18 square into 4. R equals square root of 18 square into 4, as it is I will write, because square root of 18 square, we know that it is 18, and square root of 4 it is 2. So directly we will get R is equal to 36 centimeter. So radius of the conical heap is 36 centimeter. Now we want to find the slant height of the conical heap. So we have a formula for slant height. L is equal to square root of r square plus h square is equal to square root of radius of the heap is 36 square plus height of the conical heap is 24. So here we will square it. 36 square 1296. 24 square is 576. So when we add, we will get 6 plus 6, 12. Remainder 1. 10 plus 7, 17. Remainder 1. 5 plus 2, 7 plus 1, 8. 1872 we will get. So we will find the square root. 1872. 1872. It's not a perfect square. 2 9s are 18. 2 3s are 6. 2 6 are 12. Again 2 4s are 8. 6 are 12. 8s are 8 16. 2 2s are 4. 2 3s are 6. 2 4s are 8. 2 1s are 2. 2 1s are 2. 2 7s are 14. Again 3 we will divide. 3 3s are 9. 27. 3 9s are 27. 3 13. So we will get 2 4. Square root of 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 13 we will get. So square root means from 2 to number we will take one number out. So 2 into 2 into 3 into root 13 as it is we will write. 3 2s are 6, 2s are 12 root 13 centimeter is the slant height of the conical heap. Therefore radius of the heap is 36 centimeter and slant height is 12 root 13 centimeter. Eighth question. Water in a canal 6 meter wide and 1.5 meter deep is flowing with a speed of 10 km per hour. How much area will it irrigate in 30 minutes if 8 centimeters of standing water is needed? So this is a different question. Water in a canal 6 meter wide and 1.5 meter deep is flowing with the speed of 10 km per hour. So here 6 meter wide and 1.5 meter deep about the canal they are talking. So the meaning is canal is in the shape of a cuboid. Width is given, height is given. We want to find the length of the canal. So here width of the canal we will write 6 meter. Width of the canal. 6 meter and 1.5 meter deep, depth or height of the canal. It is 1.5 meter and in this canal water is flowing with a speed of 10 km per hour. So speed of the water. Speed of the water. It is 10 km, sorry, 6 meter, 1.5 meter. 10 km per hour is the speed of the water flowing in this canal. Meaning in 1 hour it is moving 10 km, flowing 10 km. So here as the values are given in meter, this we will convert into meter. 10 km, 10 into 1000 we will multiply. So meter per hour we will write. So 10 into 1000, 10,000 meter per hour. Now this is the speed of the water. As I told you, width and height of the canal is given. We will find out what is the distance travelled by the water in the canal, and that distance travelled by the canal can be considered as the length of the canal. How much distance the water is flowing, that will be the length of the canal. So to find the distance travelled by the water, speed into time is distance. So here they are asking how much area will it irrigate. This water will irrigate in 30 minutes. So time is 30 minutes. Time taken is 30 minutes. 30 minutes we will convert into hour. 30 minutes equals half an hour. So we have time, we have speed. So distance we will find. So distance travelled by the water in the canal. That will be considered as the length of the canal or length of the cuboid. So we know distance is equal to speed into time. So here speed is 10,000 into time is half an hour. So when we cancel, we will get 5,000 meter. 5,000 meter is the distance traveled by the water, and that will be considered as the length of the cuboid. So now we have length, breadth and height. Volume of the canal or volume of the water in the canal will write. Volume of the water in the canal or volume of the cuboid is equal to LBH is equal to length is 5000, breadth or width is 6 meter and height is 1.5. So this we will leave it as it is. Now this water is flowing into a land and they are asking how much area will it irrigate in 30 minutes if 8 centimeter standing water is needed. So the area, the land, what is the shape of the land? It is not given. They just asked to find the area of the land or area with will it irrigate in 30 minutes if 8 centimeter of standing water is required. So 8 centimeter standing water is required means height of the water. Height of the water in the land or the field. In the land is 8 centimeter. We will convert into meter. 8 by 100 meter we will write. So we know that the basic concept of volume is area of the base into height. So what is the shape of the land we don't know. So we will write let A, capital A be the area of the land. Be the area of the land. This is what we wanted to find out. How much area it will irrigate. So area is given. Volume, height is given. So area into height will be the volume of the water. So volume of water in the land or in the field. Volume equals area of the base into height. So A into height is 8 by 100. So how much water is flowing in the canal? That will be reaching to a land or the field. So volume of the water in the canal will be equal to volume of the water which is flowing into the land. So we will compare both the volumes. Therefore, volume of water flowing in the canal will be equal to volume of the water flowing in the land or reaching the land. Therefore, this is LBH. LBH is the volume of the water flowing in the land. It will be equal to A into H. So here LBH is 5000 into 6 into 1.5 is equal to area of the land we should find out. Height is 8 by 100. So here we will cross multiply. A into 8 is equal to 5000 into 6 into 1.5 into 100. This 100 will cross multiply this one. Therefore, area of the land is equal to 5000 into 6 into 1.5 into 100 divided by 8. A equals 5000 into 6 into 1.5 into 100 divided by 8. So we will cancel in 2 table. If you cancel here 4, here it will be 2500 we will get. Again in 4 table if you cancel 4 ones are 4, 4 6 are 24, remainder 1 10, 4 2s are 8, 2 20, 4 5s are 20. So we will get here 625 into 6 into 1.5 into 100. 1.5 into 100. 15 into 100, 1500. 1 decimal digit we will adjust. So we will get 150. So we will multiply all these. We will get the answer. So here 625 into 6. 3750. Now 375 into 15. Into 15. Five, 6, 2, 5. So here we will get 5, 6, 2, 5. For 150 that is 1 0 and here also 1 more 0. So area of the land is 5,62,500 and the unit is meter square. Area of the land is 5,62,500 meter square. Ninth question. A farmer connects a pipe of internal diameter 20 centimeter from a canal into a cylindrical tank in her field, which is 10 meter in diameter and 2 meter in deep. If water flows through the pipe at the rate of 3 km per hour, in how much time will the tank be filled? So here, similar like previous question, a farmer connects a pipe of internal diameter 20 centimeter from a canal into a cylindrical tank in her field, which is 10 meter in diameter and 2 meter in deep. If water flows through the pipe at the rate of 3 km per hour, in how much time will the tank be filled? So here water is flowing through in a pipe with a rate of 3 km with a speed of 3 km per hour. In how much time will the tank be filled? So here pipe is also cylindrical in shape. Even tank is also cylindrical in shape. So we will compare the volume of the pipe and volume of the cylindrical tank. So here internal diameter of the pipe is 20 centimeter. So diameter of the pipe. Pipe is also a cylinder. Diameter of the pipe is 20 centimeter. Therefore radius of the pipe is 10 centimeter. And here the values all are given in meter. We will convert this centimeter into meter. 10 by 100. So 1 by 10 we will write 1 by 10 meter. This is the radius of the pipe. And this water flowing in a pipe which will be reaching a cylindrical tank which is 10 meter in diameter and 2 meter in deep. So here pipe, we got radius of the pipe. So to find the volume of the water in this pipe, pi r square h, we wanted to find out height of the cylinder or height of the pipe we should find out. For that they had given this. They says that the water flows through the pipe at the rate of 3 km per hour. So speed of the water in the pipe. Speed of the water. It is given 3 km per hour. This kilometer we will convert into meter. So here 3 into 1000. So meter per hour we will get. So this is speed of the water. Now the question is how much time it will take to fill the tank. So let T be the time taken. We will write. Let T be the time taken to fill the tank. So like previous question, speed of the water is given. Their time was given 30 minutes. We have converted into half an hour. But here time we have to find out. So let T be the time. Speed is given, time is given. Therefore distance we will find out. Travel by the water in the pipe. Distance traveled by the water in the pipe. So distance is how much distance the water is flowing in the pipe will be considered as the length of the pipe or height of the pipe. So that is height of the pipe. So distance is equal to speed into time. Speed is 3000 and time is T we assumed. So 3000 into T, 3000 T. This is meter. This is the distance travelled. So distance travelled is nothing but height of the pipe or length of the pipe. Therefore volume of the pipe. Volume of water in the pipe. Pipe is equal to volume of a cylinder is pi r square h. So pi into radius 1 by 10 the whole square or 1 by 10 into 1 by 10 I'll write into height of the pipe is 3000 T. So here 2 zeros will cancel. We will get 30 T pi we will get. 30 T pi we will write as it is. Pi we will not substitute because again we are going to find the volume of the cylindrical tank. So they told the water flows through the, if the water will be reaching in a cylindrical tank which is 10 meter in diameter and 2 meter in deep. So diameter of the cylindrical tank. Cylindrical tank. Equals 10 meter in diameter. So radius of the cylindrical tank is 5 meter. Next, height of the tank is 2 meter. Height of the tank, it is 2 meter. Therefore, volume of the tank. Volume of the cylindrical tank. Volume of a cylinder is pi r square h. So, pi into radius is 5 square into height 2. This is the volume of the cylinder or volume of the water in the cylindrical tank. Now, we will compare the volume. Volume of the water in the pipe will be equal to volume of the water in the cylindrical tank. Volume of water in the pipe is equal to volume of water in the tank. In the tank. So here pipe 30 T pipe is equal to here pi into 5 square, right? 25 into 2, that is 50. So pi and pi will cancel. T is equal to 50 divided by 30. So 3 cancel. 5 by 3 we will get. This 5 by 3 is hour. 5 by 3 hour. If you wanted to convert into minute, we know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. 5 by 3 into 60. 3 2s are 20. So 5 into 20, 100 minutes. So 100 minutes will take the water to reach the cylindrical tank. Next topic is frustum of a cone. Frustum of a cone. Frustum is a Latin word. The meaning is a piece cut off. So what is the meaning of frustum of a cone? So if we take a cone and if we slice or cut parallel to the base, this is the base of the cone. If we cut it with a plane and we remove the top part of this cone, this part if you remove it, the remaining what we are getting is called frustum of a cone. This is the frustum of a cone. So all the features of the frustum of a cone are related to cone. So here for a frustum of a cone, if we draw it separately, example for frustum of a cone is glass, bucket, flower pot. All are examples of frustum of a cone. It has two circular surfaces. So two circular surfaces are there. Bigger circular surface radius we will consider as R1 and the smaller one we will consider as R2. However, we can take it. So one radius R1 and another one R2. For a cone, there is only one radius. We will consider here if this is a cone, this is the radius, this is the height and this is the slant height. Radius, height and slant height. For the frustum of a cone, bigger radius R1, smaller radius R2. This is the height of the frustum of a cone and this is the slant height of the frustum of a cone. Same like cone, we have three formulas: CSA, TSA and volume. So if CSA of a cone, frustum of a cone, CSA equals, we know that CSA of a cone is pi RL, where R is the radius of the cone and L is the slant height. For frustum of a cone, pi, instead of R, we will write R1 plus R2 into L. We can write pi L into R1 plus R2 or pi R1 plus R2 into L square units. This is the CSA of the frustum of a cone. TSA of the frustum of a cone is, TSA equals, first CSA, that is pi into R1 plus R2 into L, plus we have two circular surface. So we have to add both the areas to find the total surface area. So this part is circular surface with radius R1. So pi R1 square, plus this is a circular surface with radius R2. So pi R2 square we can write. If you want, we can take pi common from all the three terms. There are three terms. This is CSA, area of one circular surface, area of another circular surface. Pi if you take common, R1 plus R2 into L plus R1 square plus R2 square. This is the formula to find the TSA of the frustum of a cone, square units. And volume. Volume formula, volume of a cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. Pi r square h. So here volume of the frustum of a cone is 1 by 3 pi h. H also I will write. Only r comes. When r comes, it is r1 square plus r2 square plus r1 r2. This is the formula to find the volume of the frustum of a cone. Cubic units. Cubic units. 1 by 3 pi h. Instead of r square, r1 square plus r2 square plus r1 r2. This is volume of the frustum of a cone. And slant height of the cone is L is square root of r square plus h square. To find the slant height of the frustum of a cone, the formula is L equals square root of r1 minus r2 the whole square plus h square. So instead of r square, we will write r1 minus r2 the whole square. So these are the formulas of the frustum of a cone. Frustum of a cone is a part of the cone. When we slice the top part of the cone and remove the top small cone, the remaining part of the cone is called frustum of a cone. There are two circular surfaces for the frustum of a cone. Bigger radius will take it as R1 and small radius will take it as R2. CSA is pi R1 plus R2 into L. TSA, pi we can take common, R1 plus R2 into L plus R1 square plus R2 square. And volume is 1 by 3 pi h into R1 square plus R2 square plus R1 R2. And the slant height is square root of R1 minus R2 the whole square plus h square. That's all for today. Thank you.